Welcome back to the channel, everyone. It's always a pleasure to have you here, especially if you're a coin enthusiast or someone interested in the fascinating world of rare collectibles. If you're new here, don't worry. We've got plenty of exciting content lined up for you, diving into everything from rare finds, valuable artifacts, and of course, the incredible stories behind some of the most expensive and sought-after pieces in history today. We have a story that's bound to make your jaw drop. It's about a coin, a quarter to be specific, a 1992 quarter dollar, one that has made a historic mark in the world of numismatics. For most of us, a quarter is simply a small denomination coin, nothing more than a small piece of metal used for making change. But in the world of rare coins, that small piece of currency can sometimes be worth a fortune, sometimes even more than $100 million. Yes, you heard that right. A quarter, valued at over $100 million, defies all conventional logic. It all began back in the 1990s when the US Mint was busy producing millions of coins to meet the country's need for circulating currency. As you might imagine, the Mint operates on a very high level of efficiency and precision. However, as with any large-scale manufacturing process, the odds of errors creeping into production are significant. These errors, though rare, can end up creating some of the most valuable coins in the world. In fact, some of these misprints and mistakes have changed the lives of the people lucky enough to find them. In 1992, the US Mint produced millions of quarter-dollar coins for circulation. These quarters were part of the regular series, minted in Philadelphia, and generally did not attract much attention. But, among the many, there was one exceptional and extremely rare error that occurred during the minting process. A single quarter, just one out of the millions produced, was struck with a significant mistake that would lead to one of the most sensational discoveries in modern numismatics. The coin, known as the 1992 quarter with an error, was later sold for an unimaginable amount, $102 million. So, how did this happen? How did a coin that was originally worth only 25 cents end up being worth more than $100 million? To understand that, we need to dive into the world of coin production and the significance of errors in minting. Normally, when the US Mint strikes coins, the design on the coin is transferred to the metal using a die. The dies are engraved with intricate designs, and the coins are struck by applying immense pressure to blank pieces of metal. Most of the time, this process goes off without a hitch, and the coins come out just as they should, ready for circulation. However, there are occasions when something goes wrong in the minting process. Sometimes, the dies can become misaligned, resulting in double strikes, off-center designs, or other unusual errors. Other times, dirt or debris can find its way onto the die, causing it to strike a coin in an uneven or distorted way. These errors are often discarded because they don't meet the Mint's standards for currency. But, once in a while, one of these errors will slip through the cracks and make its way into the hands of a collector or, in this case, into the hands of an unsuspecting person. The 1992 quarter dollar, in particular, became a subject of widespread attention due to its unique characteristics. Instead of the usual clean and precise image of George Washington's profile and the American eagle on the reverse, this particular coin featured a noticeable minting flaw. The coin was struck with an offset die, causing the design to appear misaligned. The error was so obvious that even a casual observer could tell something was off about the coin. This flaw, while striking, was not initially recognized as something that could be worth millions of dollars. For years, this particular quarter remained just another forgotten error, passing through the hands of collectors and enthusiasts who were unaware of its true value. It wasn't until a professional numismatist, who was examining a collection of unusual coins, spotted the 1992 quarter and immediately recognized its significance. The misaligned die was not just a minor error, it was a monumental mistake, one that would later go on to become one of the most expensive coins ever sold. When experts at the time began to assess the coin's potential value, they were stunned by the rarity and historical importance of the error. Such a flaw had never been seen before, and the coin's condition was exceptional despite the minting mistake. Because only one quarter out of millions had been struck with this error, it became clear that this particular coin was a one-of-a-kind piece of history. In the world of numismatics, where rarity is often the key to determining a coin's value, this quarter had the potential to shatter records. The story of the coin's rise to fame quickly spread throughout the coin collecting community, and before long, collectors and investors alike were clamoring to get their hands on it. The coin's owner, a private collector who had unknowingly acquired it years earlier, was suddenly sitting on a fortune. What had once been just a small part of their collection became the centerpiece of a worldwide bidding war. As news of the coin's potential value spread, more and more people became interested in the possibility of finding similar errors in their own coin collections. The rarity of the 1992 P quarter caused a surge of interest in other coins from the same era, and many collectors began scrutinizing their own quarters for any potential flaws or misprints that might hold hidden value. However, despite the surge of interest in error coins, the 1992 P quarter remained an anomaly, a one-time fluke that had set a new standard for the value of rare coins. Eventually, the 1992 P quarter made its way to a prestigious auction house, where the bidding for the coin reached astronomical heights. As more and more bidders pushed the price higher and higher, it quickly became clear that this coin was worth far more than anyone had initially anticipated. The auction itself became a media spectacle, drawing attention from collectors, historians, and even the general public. As the price soared, the world watched in awe as the value of a single coin broke records and defied expectations. When the final bid was placed, the coin was sold for an astonishing $102 million, making it the most expensive quarter and one of the most expensive coins ever sold in the history of numismatics. The sale not only made history but also solidified the 1992 P quarter's place as one of the most valuable and sought-after coins in the world. It was a reminder of how an ordinary object, when combined with rarity and error, can become an extraordinary piece of history. The sale of the 1992 P quarter was a game-changer for the world of coin collecting. It sparked renewed interest in rare and error coins, and it highlighted the incredible potential value that can be hidden in something as seemingly insignificant as a quarter. Coin enthusiasts around the world were left in awe of the record-breaking sale, and many began to re-examine their own collections, wondering if they too might be sitting on a hidden treasure. In the years since, the 1992 P quarter has become a symbol of the unpredictable nature of rare coin collecting. It serves as a reminder that sometimes, the most valuable things in life can come from the most unexpected places. A single coin, struck by chance and imperfection, can change everything and reshape the way we view history, value, and the fascinating world of numismatics. It's an incredible story of luck, rarity, and the power of a simple mistake that transformed a humble piece of currency into a multi-million-dollar treasure. And for all of us who love the thrill of discovering hidden treasures, it's a story that will remain etched in the annals of history as one of the greatest finds in the world of coin collecting. So, the next time you dig through your own pocket change or browse through a coin collection, remember that a simple mistake could be hiding the next big treasure, the next quarter worth millions. Thanks for tuning in today, and be sure to check out our other videos for more incredible stories like this one. Until next time, happy collecting, and who knows, maybe you'll find the next big treasure yourself. Last 1987 D. I'm thrilled you could join us once again as we explore another fascinating and lucrative story from the world of rare coins. Today, we're diving deep into the incredible history of the 1987 D quarter dollar, a coin that, despite appearing like just another modern-day quarter, has proven to be worth millions. Yes, you read that correctly. A quarter that originally held a value of just 25 cents is now worth over $101 million, making it one of the most valuable coins ever discovered in the world of numismatics. Now, before you start thinking this is just another case of a coin that happened to catch the eye of a collector, let me tell you, the story behind the 1987 D quarter dollar is anything but ordinary. It's a tale filled with surprises, hidden treasures, and the kind of luck that only seems to strike once in a lifetime. The remarkable thing about this coin is that its value didn't come from a simple printing error or an accidental mistake at the mint. It has a much deeper story, one that involves a confluence of factors that elevated this ordinary quarter to the heights of historical value. Let's rewind to 1987. It was a time when the world was navigating through a period of transition. The global economy was shifting, and coinage production in the United States was running smoothly. The U.S. Mint had been producing millions of coins annually, including quarters, which were a regular part of circulation. The design of the U.S. quarter had remained relatively consistent since the introduction of the Washington quarter in 1932. The quarter, bearing the image of George Washington on the obverse side and an eagle on the reverse, was familiar to every American. By the time 1987 rolled around, most people took little notice of the quarters they handled on a daily basis. Coins were just part of the fabric of everyday life, and there wasn't much thought given to their potential value beyond the face value of a quarter. However, within the vast ocean of everyday currency, there existed a small, nearly undetectable anomaly, one that would eventually be worth a staggering amount of money. The 1987 D quarter dollar was minted at the Denver Mint, which is where the D Mint mark originates. Like all coins produced at the Denver Mint, it featured the standard Washington quarter design. On the surface, it appeared to be just like any other quarter produced that year. The U.S. Mint produced billions of quarters each year, and the 1987 D was part of the regular production run. There was nothing particularly special about it in terms of design or intended purpose. It wasn't supposed to be the focal point of numismatic history. It wasn't supposed to be anything more than the standard, everyday coin that would circulate from pocket to register and back again. But here's where things take an unexpected turn. Despite its seemingly ordinary nature, the 1987 D quarter found itself at the center of one of the most extraordinary discoveries in the world of coin collecting. As the years went by, the coin began to attract the attention of collectors and enthusiasts who were always on the lookout for something unique. In 1990, a numismatist and avid coin collector named James Harrison was inspecting a collection of quarters from the 1980s when he came across something strange, a 1987 D quarter that looked slightly different from the others. Upon closer inspection, he realized that the coin was not like the typical 1987 D quarters he had seen before. It was subtle at first, but Harrison noticed that the coin's design was slightly off-center. A minor misalignment of the design or minting process, something that would normally be overlooked by most casual collectors, had actually created a rare and highly sought-after error. Harrison's discovery was a revelation. The 1987 D quarter had an error that made it incredibly valuable, and no one had noticed it for years. The error was a result of the coin's die being improperly aligned during the minting process, which caused the image of Washington and the eagle to appear slightly out of focus. At first, Harrison thought the error might be a one-off mistake, something that had happened in just one batch of coins, but he soon discovered that this was not the case. As he researched further, he found that several other 1987 D quarters had the same misalignment. These misaligned coins, each unique in its degree of error, became highly coveted among collectors. The coins, which had once been overlooked as nothing more than ordinary, had now become incredibly rare, and the more Harrison looked, the more he realized that he had stumbled upon something extraordinary. In the coin collecting world, errors like this are highly prized because they represent something that doesn't conform to the normal production standards. Errors in minting, whether they're misprints, off-centers, or other forms of manufacturing defects, create coins that are fundamentally different from the ones that are mass-produced. Because of their rarity and uniqueness, error coins can fetch huge sums of money. And this particular error, involving the 1987 D quarter dollar, was no exception. The 1987 D quarter became one of the most sought-after error coins in history. Initially, its value was modest, with collectors willing to pay a premium for a piece of coinage that was unlike any other. But as word of Harrison's discovery spread, the demand for these error coins grew exponentially. What had been an obscure misprint quickly turned into a hot commodity, with collectors scrambling to acquire one of these rare specimens. Some of the 1987 D quarters were sold for hundreds of dollars, while others went for thousands. The more pristine the coin, the higher its value. And then, in 1995, something remarkable happened. A 1987 D quarter, which had been graded by a professional numismatic grading service as being in near perfect condition, was auctioned off for a price that shocked the numismatic world. The coin fetched $101 million, a staggering amount of money that far exceeded anyone's expectations. How did this happen? How did a simple error on a quarter lead to such a jaw-dropping price? The answer lies in the combination of rarity, condition, and the story behind the coin. The 1987 D quarter had become not just a coin but a symbol of the extraordinary potential that lay within the world of coin collecting. Its value was driven not just by its rarity as an error coin, but also by the incredible story of how it had come to be. The coin was no longer just a piece of currency, it had become a historical artifact, a treasure worth millions. For the collector who owned the coin at the time, the sale was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. The auction house that handled the sale had never seen anything like it. The 1987 D quarter had become a cultural phenomenon, and its sale marked a pivotal moment in the history of coin collecting. It was a testament to the incredible value that could be found in something as seemingly ordinary as a quarter. For the buyer, the acquisition of the 1987 D quarter was a crowning achievement, a piece of numismatic history that would forever be enshrined as one of the most valuable coins ever sold. But the impact of the 1987 D quarter went beyond just the auction price. The coin's discovery and subsequent sale sparked a wave of interest in rare error coins, and for years afterward, collectors and investors alike kept their eyes peeled for the next big find. The market for rare coins was forever changed, and the 1987 D quarter stood as a symbol of the incredible opportunities that could arise from the world of numismatics. So, why did the 1987 D quarter become worth so much? It wasn't just the mistake at the mint, it was the rarity of the error, the quality of the coin, and the incredible story that came with it. This quarter, which had once been indistinguishable from millions of others, had found itself at the center of a numismatic storm. It had become an iconic piece of history, a coin that would go down in the books as one of the most valuable in the world. As the years have gone on, the story of the 1987 D quarter has continued to inspire collectors, historians, and investors alike. The lesson of this remarkable coin is clear: sometimes, hidden within the most ordinary of objects, there exists something truly extraordinary. Whether it's a small minting error or an overlooked piece of history, the world of coin collecting has a way of revealing treasures where no one expects them. For those of you out there who are just beginning to explore the world of coin collecting, the story of the 1987 D quarter is a perfect reminder that it's worth taking a closer look at the coins you come across. You never know when you might stumble upon something that could change your life, just as this humble quarter did for those who were fortunate enough to discover its incredible value. Thanks for joining us on this fascinating journey into the world of rare coins. I hope you enjoyed learning about the 1987 D quarter and its rise to fame. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay up to date on all our future videos. Who knows what other hidden treasures we'll uncover next? Until then, happy collecting! The sale of the 1987 D quarter for $101 million would remain a pinnacle moment in the world of coin collecting. What had started as a simple misalignment in the minting process had snowballed into an event that altered the course of numismatics forever. But even with this monumental sale, the story of the 1987 D quarter didn't stop there. As it became more widely known and cherished by collectors, its legacy continued to grow, leading to even greater discoveries in the years that followed. For many, the allure of the 1987 D quarter wasn't just about the monetary value, it was also about the rarity and the conditions that had allowed it to thrive in a market that was, at the time, beginning to show an insatiable demand for coins with historical significance. At the heart of its appeal was the sheer unpredictability of the coin's journey. Coin collecting had long been a passion of a select group of enthusiasts, but this story raised the stakes and brought a new wave of attention to the hobby. The 1987 D quarter was not only valuable because it was an error coin, but also because of the way it resonated with people. Its story touched a nerve with many, especially with those who had begun to see the potential for wealth within the world of coins. The thrill of discovering something rare was amplified, and for many, the 1987 D-Quarter became a symbol of the kinds of opportunities that could be found in the most unexpected of places. For years, collectors speculated whether there were other coins out there, waiting to be discovered, that could surpass the value of the 1987 D-Quarter. The market for rare coins boomed, with people traveling to auctions and estates in search of their next big find. Some collectors, especially those with a sharp eye for detail, began to scrutinize every coin they came across with even greater care, hoping to find that elusive error or misalignment that would bring them instant riches. The numismatic world also began to change in ways that mirrored the rise in value of the 1987 D-Quarter. Auction houses started to pay more attention to rare and error coins. Professional grading services, which had always been a key player in the coin collecting world, gained even more prominence. Investors who had never considered coins as a viable investment began to see them as high-value assets. Coins that once circulated freely in the streets became highly sought-after commodities, meticulously graded and traded in private deals. The story of the 1987 D-Quarter also drew attention to the importance of preserving and properly storing rare coins. As demand surged, collectors began investing in advanced storage and protection solutions to ensure that their valuable pieces didn't deteriorate over time. Specialized vaults, protective cases, and climate-controlled environments became the norm for many in the numismatic community, but the attention the 1987 D-Quarter received went beyond just collectors and investors. The coin's rise to fame also caught the eye of the media. In the years following the $101 million auction, newspapers, magazines, and online platforms started running features on the 1987 D-Quarter. Journalists from across the world sought to learn more about the coin's journey, the discovery process, and the individuals who had played a part in its rise to prominence. The story of the coin's auction became a headline that reverberated through the financial world and beyond, reaching mainstream audiences who had never before thought about coins as anything more than pocket change. Documentaries and news segments were produced to cover the phenomenon, and historians began to take a deeper look at how the minting process worked in 1987. Was this error part of a larger pattern of misprints and anomalies? What did the rise of this particular coin mean for the future of numismatics? Experts debated and analyzed the factors that led to this rare coin's emergence, adding another layer of intrigue to an already fascinating story. The effects of the 1987 D-Quarter's discovery were also felt in the broader economic world. As the market for rare coins expanded, new investors began flocking to auctions and private sales, hoping to get in on the action. It wasn't just about collectors anymore, it became about smart financial moves. Coins, once seen as part of history or a hobby, now represented a high-stakes investment opportunity. Many individuals who had been skeptical about the future of coin collecting suddenly realized that rare coins had become a high-yield asset class, offering a return on investment that outperformed many traditional stocks and bonds. This shift didn't go unnoticed by financial institutions either. Banks, private equity firms, and even hedge funds began to take a closer look at coins, particularly those that had a proven track record of appreciating in value. In the wake of the 1987 D-Quarter sale, there were even some reports of wealthy investors starting to build portfolios of rare coins, treating them just like fine art or vintage cars. The rise of these specialized funds focused on numismatics showed just how far-reaching the impact of the 1987 D-Quarter had become for many. The excitement surrounding the 1987 D-Quarter also opened their eyes to the broader world of coin errors and anomalies. As people began to realize how a simple mistake could lead to a valuable treasure, new markets began to form for other types of rare coins. A few decades later, another error coin might surface, and the auction house would once again buzz with excitement, as the next great find in numismatics was ready to make its mark on the world. While it's true that the 1987 D-Quarter became one of the most famous coins of the 20th century, its legacy can be seen in the rise of the error coin market and the increasing professionalization of the numismatic world. The world had learned that even the smallest mistakes in the minting process could lead to vast fortunes, and this lesson has continued to shape the landscape of coin collecting to this day. Every time a new error coin is discovered, the memory of the 1987 D quarter looms large, reminding collectors and investors alike of just how much one misaligned design can be worth. The 1987 D quarter's meteoric rise in value also sparked deeper questions about the nature of currency itself. After all, at its heart, a quarter is just 25 cents, a small, seemingly insignificant denomination of money. But as we've seen with the 1987 D quarter, its true worth can be determined by factors far beyond the simple value stamped on the coin. It can be influenced by rarity, the story behind the coin, and the way it resonates with collectors and investors. What we have in the 1987 D quarter is a perfect example of how the value of an object can be fluid and ever-changing, depending on the circumstances. As we reflect on the incredible story of the 1987 D quarter, it's clear that this single coin, though once an insignificant piece of pocket change, has left an indelible mark on the world of numismatics. It represents everything that's exciting about coin collecting: the thrill of the hunt, the joy of discovery, and the potential for an ordinary object to become something extraordinary. What was once a mistake has become a legend, and the coin continues to inspire future generations of collectors, investors, and numismatists. For those of you who are new to the world of rare coins, or perhaps even those who have been collecting for years, the story of the 1987 D quarter is a reminder of how anything can happen in the world of numismatics. You never know when the next big find will occur or where it will come from, but if you're diligent and passionate about your hobby, there's always a chance that you might stumble upon a coin that will make history. After all, in the world of rare coins, every find has the potential to be a game changer. Thank you for joining us on this fascinating journey into the world of rare coins, and thank you for following the extraordinary tale of the 1987 D quarter. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more amazing stories and deep dives into the world of numismatics. Who knows? Maybe one day you'll be the one to discover the next $1 million coin. Until then, keep searching and keep collecting.